lot of people have been making builds videos about what they use. And of course, I thought I would jump in on this. These are the 5 skater builds and the 2 goalie builds I use in EASHL. Yo, what is going on, guys? And welcome back to another EASHL video where I am going to show you what builds I use. And I'm just going to start this off. Every single one of my skater builds is hovering the 6'1" to 6'2" range of height, and I love these builds. They have all worked very well for me. So let's start off with my first build. It's a big tipper grinder. The big tipper grinder has been one of my favorite twos build, playing with me and just one other person. I'm 6'2", 185. Shoots left because that's what I use. Big tipper, magnetic, which should be on 99% of your builds. Unstoppable force is there because it's just such a great trait. It's such a good trait to use because it allows you to bump off hits a lot easier. Controlled passing, so I have great passing at 88, and pass timing, which I think that was the reason my controlled passing was on there, so I was able to help my hand-eye. So also, of course, as you can see, my shot is terrible, but that's what's gonna happen if you're gonna be a crease crashing, force checking unit like this. 8 at 85 speed with 83 agility, 82 acceleration, because acceleration doesn't matter this much this year. We got puck control at 88, very strong, so adding that to unstoppable force. The 75 balance is also going to help with, of course, unstoppable force. You're going to have the endurance at 84, which does help, I think, a good amount. Even though I don't think endurance matters as much as previous years, it still matters to have good endurance. Of course, my defensive stats are not the greatest, but still, I feel like I can get the stick checks off on when I'm forechecking, and if I need to play defensively, I can use my defensive awareness at 82, still having that 88 passing and my 84 offensive awareness. My hand-eye is 91, my strength is 77, durability at 76, and 85 shot block, because that's what a grinder does, is shot block. 90 face-offs. This, of course, will change. I change it a good amount depending on if I'm playing center or not. I will change it so I can get that discipline, but the good thing about this build is I already have 88 discipline. My deking is 73, and I get it. Why people say, why do you use 90 face-offs? It's because we really set our plays on our face-offs. You can have this set to more like this. Oh, I hate you, Carlin Bates. Alright, now Carlin Bates is over. Here we go. This, you can run something more like this. Of course, 75 deking is not any better, but you can run something a little more like this if you're still playing center, but you don't want that. And of course, if you're not playing center, you can just bump this down because you're not playing center, of course, and bump your discipline. And I would also say bump up your deking a little bit on this build, so maybe something like this would work. But it's up to you with this category, as it's very, very customizable. But this is what I use. So of course, if you want to try this out, it has worked for me. So let's move on to my second forward build. Here is the Playmaker. I have just made this build. It has been rarely used, but it's a 6'1", 181 Playmaker, elite edges, magnetic again, and unstoppable force again. I love using unstoppable force and magnetic together. Elite edges is a great trait as well. My wrist shot is not half bad. I also have 84 speed, with 77 balance, that is to help out with unstoppable force, and core strength, as you can see over there. And then my agility is 83 because I do have since of elite edges being on, I can have a little bit lower agility, I feel, and I can still be fine. My wrist shot accuracy, or my wrist shot power, and my slap shot power are both very good. The -5 on the acceleration, once again, I don't feel like it matters very much. My endurance is up by 1, and my puck control is up by 1. Of course, this category has not changed at all. I feel like there was nothing here that I needed to change. There was 90 passing, 90 offensive awareness, and I feel like my stick checking and defensive awareness are really good because I have used defensive builds that have 68 defensive awareness, and I can still, as long as I'm in good positioning, and I will be able to pick off the puck in the defensive zone. Of course, then we got the hand-eye at 87. Of course, if you need to, this build can go in front. 80 strength at the +7, durability at 72. My shot blocking, I don't feel like it matters, at 73. Of course, as a playmaker, I feel like this could be more of a winger build. I've barely used this build at all. With 86 discipline, 80 face-offs, of course, like I said, this is the most customizable. Of course, bumping down fighting skill is probably your best bet. Deking, I don't feel like you need as much, but it's up to you. I mean, depending on how you play. So my third build here is my power forward at 6'2". That would be 6'2", 210. And this build is the build you saw in the Back At Ya video. And if you haven't watched that, I would watch that video to see what this build can do. It's 6'2", 210. I said 215 to a person in the comments. I'm sorry for that. It is 210. It's got unstoppable force. Puck on a string is there. I feel like puck on a string is really good with this build. I feel like, yeah, magnetic can be here, but it's, like I said, 99% of your builds, I'm not using it. Because of Back At Ya, I would probably have it on here. If I did not have Back At Ya on, because you don't actually need Back At Ya to get the reverse hits. It's just a lot better with Back At Ya on. I have 85 speed. This is just a very offensive build. 82 wrist shot accuracy, 87 power with that power wrister, and the acceleration is at 80. My endurance at 80, puck control at 87, agility is low, but it is up by +2. And of course, I mean, like I said in times past, acceleration does not matter. I could easily bump this down for other stats, like I can bump it down, and I mean, I could do something like this, and it would work really well. I mean, you look at that. It's actually like probably the best you're gonna get out of this build. So I might actually switch that. If you want to use it more like this, you can use it like this. Passing is at 80, offensive awareness 86, and like I said, if you want to, you can put on magnetic to even help that even more. Body checking at 80, it's still good. Very good with Back At Ya. Stick checking is at 79, and my defensive awareness at 80. And what you're noticing is I'm more of a winger, as you can tell by this. 84 strength, 83 durability with 80 hand-eye. I'm not going to be getting in front with this build much, so that hand-eye don't matter. But like I said, you can bump down the shot blocking, so I could get better strength technically. Of course, shot blocking does not matter, I don't feel. So I can get 86 strength. I'm going to do that because I think it also helps with Back At Ya. Deking 78, face-offs, like I said, this can be adjusted. Of course, fighting skill you want all the way down because it's useless.
Welcome back, everyone.
So,
World of Chell has been
oh my god,
awesome
Carlin Bave. Alright, so my defenseman build. This is my 6'1", puck-moving defenseman. And I just wanted to let you know this is not correct. This can be magnetic if you wanted it to, because we were trying to just experiment with screen goals, and it did work. This build has a really good wrist shot, and the reason it has that is mostly because I feel like I can snipe the goalie better, but also it's more for like a human goalie, which if they do get out of position, I can hit those corners very easily. 70 balance is still pretty good, even though for a defenseman, who knows. Elite edges, like I said, I can have that lower agility. And of course, I did not change this build for the acceleration. I can bump down my acceleration if needed. My wrist shot power is at 85. Power wrister and controlled wrister on. Alright, so the play style category is 89 passing, very good. This is very offensive, but I have the offensive awareness down. Of course, with magnetic, it's going to be a little better. My shot block is very bad, or not my shot block, my body check is very bad. My stick checking is good, and my defensive awareness is good. Very offensive style defenseman. It works for a good cycle and things like that. So if you like to cycle the puck around and you just love trying to get as much offensive zone time as possible, and you just want a strongly offensive defenseman, this is probably your best bet. Of course, your strength, your hand-eye is not going to be needed at defense. I still have it there because it still allows you to bat pucks down. Of course, you want your face-offs down as a defenseman. Of course, this is where it does get a little more tactical. Of course, you still want your fighting skill down, but your discipline, you probably want it up as a defenseman. You're going to be poke checking, you're going to be hitting, but of course, hitting doesn't matter. You're going to be, you're just going to use your stick. You're going to be using your stick check a lot. You want to make sure that you are not
Hey
taking
everyone,
penalties.
welcome.
All right, so that is that build. And my other defenseman build would be my two-way defenseman. Of course, another build that you don't have to have heat seeker. I've run stick 'em up, but that's kind of shut down. I've run no contest sometimes. I can run quick pick as my zone ability and do that. This one can definitely move around. It is my more defensive of my build. If you look at my playstyle category, my playstyle is very, very good with the positional IQ and the quick stick. Of course, 86 speed. I still have very good speed, but my shot does really suck. That's why I had Heat Seeker on. I wanted, like I said, these are very experimental builds. 6'1", 195, as you can see there. 75 balance, 81 agility, I think is good. Of course, my acceleration definitely can be lower if you want to. Puck control, endurance, both good. My shot still sucks. I, of course, put him up by 1 because it does not matter. There's nothing I can upgrade, so you can just have this up to your power up by 1, even though it really doesn't matter. Defensive awareness is 91. Your stick checking is 86, and my passing is 87 with 84 offensive awareness. It's strong offensively and defensively. Other than your shot, your passing is going to be good, and like I said, you can definitely swap this around. You can put on Unstoppable Force, and you can put on like Quick Pick or Shutdown as your main ability, which is what I'm probably going to do here. Is I'm just going to do a little switcheroo of these because I think it's better just to have the Quick Pick or the Shutdown as my main ability. So I will do that. So nothing changed here, and like I said, your tactics does not matter. But as a defenseman, it might be, like I said, a little more tactical for your tactics. Deking, of course, you're a defenseman. If you're a guy that likes to, bring the puck up, create defense into offense, maybe have your deking up. But discipline, like I said, as a defenseman, is one of your best assets. So that is all my player builds. Let's get into the goalie builds here, if my game wants to work. And there we go. Butterfly. This is my butterfly build. As you can see, very low speed. X-ray, sponge, and butterfly effect at 6'5", 195. Rebound control at 86. 4 sponges. Sponge I did not have in there for a while. I did take it out for some time for big tip or the tip jar, and that did work for some time. But I decided to go back to sponge, see how it would work. Of course, as you can see, I have butterfly effect because I feel like I have become so much better of a goalie with butterfly effect as my zone ability. Reflex, agility, just to get some better agility rather than speed. I feel like lower speed allows me to move more controlled in my crease. Of course, your reflexes, so your glove low, stick low, which is your pads, and your hands, which is your glove and blocker, can be up to you. But I think that what I am running here is definitely what I like, but I am not you, so you choose your goalie stuff. I run semi-good rebound control, good vision, because vision is one of your best traits. you will see on my other build I do have good vision. I love recovery. My breakaway does suck, so if I do get on a breakaway, my reflexes might hinder me. But we do have my other build, my hybrid build. This build is fast, and you will see it here when I get into it. It is fast, 6'5", 180. Everything is 90 or higher. I have good agility and good speed at 95, 90 agility. I can move around the crease very freely, 92 recovery and 93 vision with 79 rebound control. Not the greatest, of course, as you can tell, but it works for me. My poke check is 87, my passing is 84, and my 5-hole is 77. My 5-hole is really bad, but once again, running butterfly effect, post to post is I don't. Oh my God, Carlin Bates, we're just going over top of you because Carlin Bates, you kind of suck. Post to post, I have not really gotten to use it yet, but I've heard that it can be pretty good if you use it correctly. And last stand is because I suck on breakaways. It's my worst part of my game. Of course, reflex speed, because you can't get the other one. If you run this exact build, to get the other speed trait, you would need good 5-hole, and you would need 84. Of course, mine is 77, so reflex speed is the one you would have to go with. And, of course, reflex agility, it's the only one you got. So, that is my build, my 2 goalie builds. And that is all 7 of my builds that I use in NHL 22. These builds have been great to me, especially the power forward with back at ya. And of course, defensively, I have used that two-way defenseman very much. The puck-moving defenseman, it's just for offensive purposes. If we're trying to run a good amount of offense. Playmaker is another one of those offensive builds. If we're trying to get gritty, then I might use that grinder. This power forwards, especially when controlling the zone. Because it's hard to hit a 6'2", 210 guy with very good balance, and the shot adds on to it. It's crazy. These 7 builds have been the ones I have used the most. The Playmaker has been great offensively. The grinder, gritty. The puck-moving defenseman, great offense. Two-way defenseman, two-way. It's two-way, legitimate two-way. Power forward, it's an absolute unit. The butterfly gives me great control over my goalie, and the hybrid gives me very good speed and reflexes. So those are my builds for NHL 22. Hope you guys enjoyed. It's gonna take a good amount of time to edit, and I hope you guys like it. Like and subscribe, and see you guys on the next one.